KOAM News Now.
Right now at 5, Jasper County breaks new ground on a project intended to improve emergency response.
And things beginning to calm down just a bit after some strong, even severe thunderstorms late night and overnight. More scattered storms on the way. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Crawford County's mobile mental health unit makes its way to a law enforcement center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So we had some thunderstorms. We mentioned that they were coming last night.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened.
Yes.
Some of them were severe out there with some strong winds and some hail. And we've had some strong storms this morning. I tried to beat these things on my way in, but unfortunately, I just did not wake up early enough and managed to drive right through some of those storms this morning. They are beginning to wrap up across the area, or at least ease up around the area. Stronger storms well off to our east now, but we've still got a number of showers, thunderstorms, heavy rain, so still around Carthage, Joplin, Neosho, Monette, Cassville. You can see, and we've got a fair amount of lightning. Remember, even though the storms aren't severe, lightning is still dangerous. Lightning is still deadly. You don't want to mess around with that. Up into the northern parts of southwestern Missouri, a little lighter rain around Nevada, Sheldon, and Lamar. Still getting some heavy rain, Stockton, Greenfield. Southeast Kansas, more scattered activity out here. Still some showers, Yates Center, Iola, Pittsburgh, Columbus, near Oswego. However, we're expecting some redevelopment of thunderstorms out here as we go through the morning, and still getting some showers and storms rolling into parts of northeastern Oklahoma. Miami, you are in a bit of a pause right now, but back to your west, at Lenapaw, Newata, Chelsea, Veneta, more showers and storms on the way. So here's a look at all of that as it's rolled through the area this morning. And if you watch close enough, you'll start to see some additional development taking place out to the west, and that's how it will be for us today with scattered storms throughout the day. The good news is we do not have a severe threat for today. Now, that's not to say we couldn't see a stronger storm with maybe some small hail, gusty winds, but we're not looking at any severe weather today, which is good news. We've got temperatures in the low to mid 60s out there. Not going to move a lot through the day either. The clouds and the rain are going to keep us a little cooler. 62 when the kids get on the bus. Scattered thunderstorms out there. Southeast breeze around 5 to 10 when the bus brings them home. Again, some scattered thunderstorms. That's the thing I want to emphasize is these are going to be scattered as we head through the day. Not everyone's going to be seeing rain all day, and not everyone will see rain at the exact same time. 70 west breeze around 5 to 10, and we're going to say that fun phrase one more time. Scattered thunderstorms throughout the day. The chances again they'll drop off a little bit as we head into the afternoon and evening because they'll become a little more isolated. And then they're going to pick up again as we head into tomorrow. Highs today, we're going to be making about the upper 60s and low 70s with all the cloud cover and rain. As mentioned, more thunderstorms on the way late tonight into tomorrow. We'll have the details on that and how our weekend is shaping up with the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, just before 11 p.m. last night, witnesses say they saw a speeding car on Wall Avenue, then heard a loud crash. A white Porsche struck a building and split in half. The debris field was more than a block long, which included the building, a utility pole, and major pieces of the car scattered down the block.
There's 2 individuals in the vehicle. They both sustained injuries. The driver was conscious and breathing. The passenger was not conscious. She was breathing. They are both transported as priority.
Joplin police updated us overnight, and the major crash team was summoned and are conducting a DWI crash investigation. If you're ever on the go and want to still be able to watch our newscasts live, just download the KOAM Plus app. It's available free of charge on the App Store of your choice. Just search for the KOAM Plus app. The Crawford County Mobile Mental Health Unit found itself just outside the law enforcement center in Pittsburgh yesterday afternoon. The mobile unit is intended to make same-day access to mental health care easier. Jason Southard with the mobile unit says by setting up outside the law enforcement center, they are able to provide same-day access to a new avenue of people.
What's unique about having this here today is the services start today. Normally where I get them to fill out some paperwork, sign a release, but then we tell them to go over to our same-day access. Well, today same-day access is right here, so we'll be able to get them started immediately.
This was the 7th outing of the mobile unit, and the unit was outside the law enforcement center from noon to 2 p.m. Work is now underway on a new Jasper County-wide public safety radio system. Officials yesterday broke ground at the Sarcoxy radio tower site on Bridgeview Road. The project will revitalize 4 existing tower locations throughout the county and build 2 new ones. It'll also fund new radio equipment for first responders and their vehicles, which officials say will improve emergency response.
The dispatchers that we have are one of the most trained systems that we have in this area. Jasper County 911 services, amazing, above all the rest. So the communication from them to the police officers, from the police officers to 911 center has to be on point. And if it's not, then we need to fix it. And that's what we're doing today.
The county approved funding for the project in 2021. Fallen Law Enforcement Officers Week continued yesterday with a ceremony in Neosho, Missouri. The Newton County Sheriff's Office chaplains held a service and luncheon at the Lamppost Center honoring officers in local law enforcement serving the county. The names of 12 fallen officers from the 4-state area were read. Newton County Sheriff Chris Jennings and Neosho Police Chief Jason Baird addressed the gatherings. The First Baptist Church of Neosho prepared and served the meal. New surveillance video shows a man breaking into a Duquesne pizzeria using a questionable technique. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Gustano's Pizzeria posted security video of this break-in on their Facebook page, dubbing the perp, quote, Ninja Burglar.
But then we went back to look at the security camera just to see what happened and see if we could figure out information to pass on to the police department. We found someone kind of crawling through the building, rolling around. I mean, it looked like something off Mission Impossible.
The Ninja Burglar did more than just roll around. The owner says the burglar got away with some money from a cash box, but after spending quite a while on an empty safe.
One of the things that's also funny is we had a safe in our office that stopped kind of operating, and it was just sitting in there. And he spent 45 minutes breaking into the safe just to find that it was empty. Hunter
and the other workers at the pizzeria took the break-in in stride by turning the security video into a meme.
We at least got to laugh about some of the content that our video cameras caught, and yeah, our team had a little fun with adding some music and putting a little edit together of this guy rolling around and trying to avoid cameras or sensors or something.
The Duquesne Police Department confirmed that there is an open investigation. Anyone with information about this April 19th break-in should give them a call.
Definitely, hopefully they catch the guy, and we'd encourage people to, if you are in a parkour class and you see anybody with those same moves, notify the Duquesne Police Department.
Reporting in Duquesne, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
To see the full surveillance video, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Colgate High School baseball tries to join its softball team in advancing to state. We'll have the details. Plus, dozens of wildfires are burning across Canada this week, causing smoke to travel into the U.S. And thunderstorm chances continue. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Day super sale on now at Denver Mattress.
Well, Frontenac and Columbus softball are on a collision course in the 3A regional tournament. The Raiders and Titans won their quarterfinal and semifinal games by a combined score of 47-0, setting up a matchup between two of them in the championship. One of the best softball matchups in Southeast Kansas, Columbus versus Frontenac. Winner goes to state. So we're going to go to the top of the first inning. Gracie Major flies out to right field. But it's a sacrifice. Titans get on the board first. It's 1-0 Columbus. Go to the bottom of the first. Bases loaded for Avery Johnson. She hits a line drive in the gap. That scores all the runners. Big collision at the plate, but Annie Lee is all right. Johnson makes her way to third base, and the Raiders take a 3-1 lead. A few batters later, Tinley Sullivan singles to left field. That brings in another run, and Frontenac leads 4-1 in the first inning. Bottom of the second, Annie Lee belts one into the lawn chairs in left field, and that's gone for a 2-run homer. The Raiders take a big lead, 6-1. Then we go to the final inning of play. Columbus tries to keep their season alive, but Maddie Lujatis makes the final out. Frontenac beats Columbus 6-2. The Raiders are on their way to state.
I think we just came in today with confidence, and that's what we wanted to gain towards the end of the season. We saw a lot of great pitching and, kind of revamped our schedule, and I had 100% confidence in this group, and I think that they really did in themselves too. And it's a nice little revenge, to get back on top. And, this group has worked so hard this year. I don't like the word satisfying because I don't ever want to be satisfied. I don't want my kids to be satisfied, but, I don't think they could have played any better tonight.
Over to Class 4A, Labette County softball won its regional semifinal game in extra innings, but falls to Rock Creek in the championship game, 8-6. Lady Grizzlies finished the year with a 15-6 record, 1 game short of state. Kansas High School baseball, Erie against Colgan in the 2-1A regional championship. Cooper Simmons in a groove on the mound. The Panther starter gets back-to-back strikeouts in the third, and then another in the next inning. So we go to the bottom of the third. Colgan is up 3-0, and Tristan Voss is going to hit a line drive into right center. That scores 2 more. Panthers up by 5. So we go to the fourth inning now. Kyson Bennett is going to hit one high in the air to center field. And that'll drop down and score another run for the Panthers. Same inning, Colgan still at the plate. Brock Radel going to split the gap in left center with an RBI double. Colgan scores 4 runs in the fourth and cruises to a regional championship. Panthers headed to state for the 34th time in 38 seasons under head coach Mike Watt. In Class 4A, this result is a bit of a surprise. Fort Scott loses on its home field to Bishop Miyagi in the regional semifinals in extra innings. Tigers finish the 2024 season with a 19-8 record. Well, still to come, a new screening tool can identify preeclampsia during a pregnant woman's first trimester. Plus, another check of that rainy forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
And Martucci, don't settle for less.
Spot. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:17 on this Thursday morning. We've had scattered showers and thunderstorms, had some severe storms last night, strong storms early this morning. Those have pushed out. We do have a stronger storm in the southeastern portion of Delaware County out there. So let's start our radar tour into southwest Missouri. Joplin, you've got maybe some light showers. You're at a bit of a break, but we're seeing that redevelopment taking place out to the west. So Columbus, Oswego, getting in on some more thunderstorm activity down by Pineville, Cassville, Monette, Mount Vernon. You are socked in with the rain right now. But take a look at the lightning strikes. See how they're dark gray? That means they're several minutes old. We're not seeing as much lightning right now. Heading a little further north, Nevada, getting out of some of this light shower activity. Fort Scott, you've got one stray shower. Girard is dry. Lamar, Sheldon, Stockton, Greenfield, still getting some rain out there. Off into southeastern Kansas. Remember, if you were tuning in at the very beginning of the show, we only had a couple of little showers out here in Greenwood County. Now we've got a few more. So Yates Center, again, you're kind of right in the heart of different showers all around you. Iola getting some rain. The bulk of southeast Kansas right now is dry. Northeastern Oklahoma, Miami, that rain knocking on your back door. More showers, some heavier rain out there as well, back toward Veneta, Newada, and Chelsea. And then I want to drag this just a little further to the south. We do have this stronger storm near Kansas, Oklahoma, getting ready, rolling into Siloam Springs down there. A little more lightning, heavier rain, and a little bit of a stronger storm with some small hail and some gusty winds about 40 miles an hour. So if you're, for any reason, heading down that way, be prepared for some of that this morning. All right, look at this loop. So that's the second round of the stronger storms that rolled through earlier this morning. Brought some pretty heavy rain, gusty winds, lots of lightning with that activity. But as you see, we're starting to see that redevelopment taking place back through here. And if you look in just the last few frames, these little showers are going up pretty hard and fast across Cherokee and Labette counties out there. The good news is we're not anticipating any severe weather today. Our severe threat actually has been removed. That doesn't mean we couldn't see a stronger storm with some small hail and gusty winds, but the greater severe threat is considerably lower today, which is some good news. We do not need more severe weather. Some locations right now, you still don't need much more rain, but that's what we are getting across the area. So as we head into the afternoon, these storms are going to become a bit more scattered. As you saw on the radar loop, and we were looking back towards southeast Kansas where that gap is, we're getting the scattered storms. That's how that's going to be today. So unlike this morning with a whole line of storms coming through, they'll be scattered through the day. So not everybody's going to get rain all day. Not everybody's going to get rain all at once, but we'll still have scattered showers and storms out there. We'll get a bit of a lull in activity by the early evening hours, and then late evening and overnight we'll see a few more scattered storms. By tomorrow morning it lets up again for a little bit, and the later we head into Friday, especially into the afternoon, we're going to start seeing a lot more scattered showers and storms. But again, they will be scattered through the day, so not everyone will see rain all day. Some of you may remain dry throughout the day while your neighbors get some thunderstorm activity as we head into our Friday. Joplin Airport, last report was some heavy rain, but as you can see from our camera, 7th and Range line, things have calmed down a bit. And one thing to keep in mind, airport observations or current condition observations like this update about every hour, so sometimes they're going to be a little bit out of date. 63, southeast breeze at 5. Temperatures around the region, we are holding in the low to mid 60s across the area. We're not expecting a lot of warming, but in between thunderstorms, if you get a little longer break or maybe the clouds clear up just enough, you might get a little warmer than the rest of us today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms through the morning, 66 by 11 o'clock today. And again into the afternoon, on average, we're looking at highs right around the low 70s. But again, some of you with longer breaks might get a little warmer, might go mid 70s out there. And we'll have those scattered showers and storms here and there. And again, we'll get that pause, a little brief pause in the early evening hours and then in the late evening hours. And we'll see more showers and thunderstorms as we head overnight. And they'll be scattered though, lows around 60. 74 for our Friday. Again, a few pop-up storms out there. Our weekend at this point still looking pretty good. Low 80s, mostly clear skies. Thunderstorm chances Monday and Tuesday. Look at Monday, almost 90 degrees for a high. A little break on Wednesday, more thunderstorm chances as we head into the second half of next week as well. That is a check of your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Greg Kelly, Vice President of Operations with
Topping Health Watch this morning. For the first time, a new screening tool can identify preeclampsia during a pregnant woman's first trimester. LabCorp says it has developed a risk assessment to determine whether someone is more likely to develop the life-threatening complication. Preeclampsia can lead to seizure, stroke, preterm birth, and other serious outcomes. The condition typically develops after 20 weeks of pregnancy. LabCorp says a test can be used between 11 to 14 weeks of gestation. The screening identifies and measures 4 biomarkers associated with preeclampsia risk. It's estimated at least half of cases of preeclampsia are preventable. But some doctors say the effectiveness of the test has yet to be proven in everyday practice. LabCorp is in talks with health insurance plans to see if they are willing to cover the $240 cost. It's high blood pressure in the lungs and several types of pulmonary hyperextension disproportionately affecting women. This Women's Health Week, experts warn that this dangerous condition is often misdiagnosed or the symptoms are dismissed. Mandy Gaither explains why signs of the disease shouldn't be underestimated.
It's a condition that causes the blood vessels in a person's lungs to narrow and thicken. Pulmonary hypertension is a progressive disease. One severe form, pulmonary arterial hypertension, can lead to heart failure and death.
The earlier you can detect a disease, the earlier you can treat it and you can prevent it from worsening.
Dr. Tim Lom with National Jewish Health says it's important for women to know the risk and the symptoms of the disease, which include shortness of breath, fatigue, weight gain, swelling of the abdomen or lower extremities, chest pain, and irregular heartbeat, all of which Lom says are nonspecific and could be dismissed or misdiagnosed as another condition.
Providers think patients have more common entities such as asthma or sometimes even anxiety. So misdiagnosis is very common. And again, that's a problem because we're dealing with a disease that is progressive. If left untreated, things will get worse.
Lom says there are about 15 FDA-approved drugs to treat this disease, and a novel medication was also just approved. But work is still being done to develop targeted therapies to prevent or stop the disease from progressing.
It is treatable, and we really encourage patients to seek medical care as soon as possible.
For Health Minute, I'm Andy Gaither.
The doctor says some types of pulmonary hypertension also disproportionately affects younger women. The condition can also surface or get worse during or after pregnancy. He says any pregnant person who experiences unusual amounts of shortness of breath before or after delivery should talk to their doctor. And that's a look at some of today's health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got a few scattered showers and thunderstorms to start our Thursday. More of those on the way through the day. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
And upgrade your camping experience today.
Right now at 5:30, a new educational opportunity for preschoolers prepares to launch in the city of Joplin.
Now we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there this morning. They're going to be with us for most of the day. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the mini golf course at Pittsburgh's Four Oaks Golf will be ready for tee time this week.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. So yesterday, and you folks at home may or may not have noticed, I was not feeling well yesterday.
Yes.
I'm feeling a lot better today.
Oh, good.
No. You say that sarcastically because I'm back to my old self, and I think it's kind of alarming to folks. They got a nice break from my interesting antics. I like to have fun. There's a day without laughter is a day wasted. You got to have some fun. I'm bringing the fun back today. We also have, So I wish I had a funner forecast, but unfortunately I don't. That's a look at the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line. What I can do though for you is tell you with enthusiasm that we've got showers and thunderstorms out there. We've got scattered storms. We had stronger storms roll through earlier this morning. We've got some redevelopment taking place, and that's what's going to lead to our scattered storms out there. This little shower, he's not severe, he's not strong, anything like that. In fact, not even picking up lightning, but he kind of flared up. It's getting a little bigger. Let's start in southwest Missouri, the southern half at least. Carthage, Joplin, Neosho, you're getting on the backside of one round of rain. Mount Vernon, Monette, down to Cassville, heavy rain out there. Some lightning. We had a lot more lightning around Monette earlier this morning. That's kind of eased up a bit, but still, nonetheless, lightning is very dangerous, can be deadly. You don't want to mess around. Don't be messing around outside if you've got thunderstorms in your area. And remember, lightning can strike up to 10 miles from the parent thunderstorm. So even if it's off in the distance, if you can see the lightning or hear the thunder, you need to take it, play it safe. Nevada, Sheldon, Lamar, light showers getting ready to roll into Lamar and Nevada. We got a few more showers out to the east of you there. Then across southeast Kansas, we got the bulk of southeast Kansas dry, but we're getting some light redevelopment here. Yates Center, you're dry. Iola, you got a shower coming through just north of Howard, another one. And then this little cell here into Cherokee and Lebec counties. Again, kind of flared up, not severe, but it got really big very quickly. Miami, some light showers, heavier rain off to your south and west. And when we put this into motion, we've got all of this activity. You can watch this one little guy flare up here in Cherokee and Lebec counties. That redevelopment taking place out across southeast Kansas and up to the north, and that'll be what gives us our scattered storm chances throughout the day today. Temperatures this morning, low to mid 60s out there, and for most of us, we're not going to do a lot of moving on those temperatures. 62 when the kids get on the bus, some scattered storms, southeast breeze 5 to 10, and again some isolated to scattered storms this afternoon. 70 when the bus brings them home, west breeze around 5 to 10. Again, most of us were looking to make about the low 70s today, but some of you, if you see a little more sunshine, could be a bit warmer than that. We'll have those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. We'll have another full look at your forecast, break down those storm chances today, tonight, tomorrow, and tell you how the weekend is shaping up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, a very good boy in Newton County helped with a major drug bust. The Newton County Sheriff's Department says Deputy Weiser and his canine partner Loki stopped a vehicle and discovered marijuana, cocaine, and fentanyl. Investigators believe the driver was trafficking the drugs from Tulsa to St. Louis. Authorities also seized a firearm, and the department said, quote, "While we recognize that marijuana possession is legal in Missouri, trafficking controlled substances across state lines is not," end quote. A new education experience will soon take flight in Joplin. Joplin Schools is now accepting enrollment applications for 3 new neighborhood-based preschool classrooms for 4-year-old students called Little Eagles Flight School. The new preschool will be offered to residents in the Irving, Royal Heights, and Soaring Heights areas as part of a pilot program designed to provide quality early learning opportunities for more district children.
This is a pilot year for this program because we've not had preschool within our elementary settings in this fashion. So we're piloting in 3 buildings where we were able to find open space, and so we will try it out and see how it works. We definitely want these full day classes to just become a part of the elementary neighborhood where they're at.
You can find a link to enroll on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The city of Pittsburgh cuts a ribbon marking completion of the Quincy Rouse Street project. It's a long time coming for many residents. The project began back in 2022 and involved construction of a 3-lane concrete roadway with 5-foot sidewalks and street lighting. The city says the wait has been worthwhile.
Well, I think anytime we get a chance to improve our infrastructure, whether it be roads or utilities, or in this case, all the above, although it may be painstaking for some of the residents to endure that, it's always much better to be able to improve these.
Though the area has been open to traffic, the occasion marked the official reopening of the Quincy Street project. The mini golf course at Pittsburgh's Four Oaks Golf will be ready for tee time this week. Yesterday, the golf course cut the ribbon on the completion mini course. Groundbreaking for the 18-hole mini course was in February. It was paid for through private donations and grant funding.
Why we're here is we had a need, and we had a community member that recognized the need and step up and help us, resolve a problem. We've had a mini course for a long time, probably 5 decades. It had become in a state of disrepair, and then once COVID hit, it kind of just put it to a point where it was not economically to repair it.
This new mini course replaces one that closed back in 2020. That course has as many as 6,000 rounds played annually before it closed for good. We hear Girard High School teacher Jeremiah Hudson likes to joke about never being on the news. Well, thank your students for this. Girard High School seniors pranked Hudson by camping out in his yard overnight yesterday. Hudson is the government economics teacher at Girard. His students wanted to prank Hudson for a last bonding experience, but also to show their appreciation for their teacher.
He's a great teacher. We all love him. His class may not be the funnest to learn, but he makes it really fun and enjoyable on a subject that's probably not the most enjoyable for all of us. We all love him. He always will joke with us. He'll ask you how your day is. He's a really great teacher, and we all love him a lot.
Some students spent the night or showed up around 2 or 3 a.m. to pull off the prank. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. An Afghan Air Force helicopter crashes during a rescue mission. Plus, President Vladimir Putin is visiting China's president in a show of mutual support between the two countries. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, dozens of wildfires are burning across Canada this week. Some of the smoke is now traveling into the U.S. Senior correspondent Steve Harrigan has more.
Dry air and gusty winds creating the perfect storm of dangerous fire conditions in Canada. Despite some wet weather overnight, officials say firefighting will remain a challenge in some areas until winds shift.
It's possible firefighters could be busy with natural starts that no one could have avoided. These fires tend to start closer to communities, cabins, parks, things that people care about, because that's where people are.
Crews are now battling more than 100 wildfires across the country. In Western Canada, dozens of firefighters, helicopters, and air tankers are scrambling to contain flames that have burned at least 51,000 acres so far. Thousands of people are under evacuation orders, others preparing to leave at a moment's notice.
I asked my kids, so I have 4, and I asked them to just pack a bag overnight so that's ready to go in case we have to evacuate.
Smoke from these fires is once again drifting into the U.S., reducing air quality levels from the Dakotas into Oklahoma on Wednesday. Last year, smoke from Canada blanketed major cities like New York with an orange haze. Canadian officials warn this year could see another catastrophic wildfire season.
With no precipitation, no major precipitation in the forecast ahead, and winds that can pick up at any time, let's just say we are extremely concerned.
Health experts recommend sealing doors and windows if your area gets smoke.
A devastating scene in Afghanistan after an Afghan Air Force helicopter crashes during a rescue mission. The Mi-17 military chopper went down in a river during an emergency landing in the provincial capital of Ghor yesterday, killing at least one person. The Taliban Defense Ministry said the helicopter crashed as it was attempting to recover their bodies of people after their vehicle plunged into the river. Officials say 12 people were injured and blame technical problems for the accident. Russian President Vladimir Putin is visiting China's president in a show of mutual support between the two authoritarian countries. The meeting comes as Russian troops move further into Ukraine. Correspondent Connor Hansen has more from New York.
Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in Beijing for a 2-day visit with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Western sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine have driven the two countries closer together.
China and Russia are not going to abandon each other.
To get around sanctions after more than 2 years of war, Russia has shifted most of its energy exports to China. And Beijing has been supplying Moscow with technology, electronics, and machine tools, which is seen as assisting its war efforts.
We find it unacceptable that the Chinese companies are helping Putin wage this war against Ukraine.
Over the past week, Russia has made its largest advance into Ukraine since the start of its invasion, displacing about 8,000 people from the Kharkiv region. Putin told Chinese media that the Kremlin is open to negotiating over the conflict. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken was in Ukraine to show support and assure the country that billions of dollars in military aid is on the way.
The Ukrainian people can and will achieve their vision for the future, a free, prosperous, and secure democracy fully integrated into the Euro-Atlantic community and fully in control of its own destiny.
In a move that will likely upset China, an unofficial U.S. delegation is traveling to Taiwan for the inauguration of the island's democratically elected president. President Biden spoke to President Xi on the phone last month, covering a range of issues. He hasn't spoken to Putin since before the invasion of Ukraine.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Our Best Bank believes in the power of service.
You need, because we are Aaron Sachs and Associates.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:46 now on this Thursday morning, and we have got scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms out there, getting quite a bit of lightning out of the cell into Benton County, and we've got this little guy that flared up over Cherokee and Labette counties, lifting off to the northeast, and will continue with scattered storms through today. So Mount Vernon, Monette, Cassville, Seligman, you're still getting into some pretty heavy rain. Carthage, Joplin, Neosho, you are dry for the moment. Pineville, you're just on the northern edge of that cell down in Benton County. Stockton, Osceola, Greenfield, A little bit of heavy rain out there. Nevada, Sheldon, Lamar, a few slight showers in Lamar. You got another one that's coming up on your back door there. Heading into southeast Kansas. Again, this is that redevelopment that's taken place along 54 back from Iola to Yates Center and then down toward Howard in Elk County. Excuse me. And then we've got those heavier showers. Oswego just to your south. Columbus, Pittsburgh, you're getting in on the action. Heading back into northeastern Oklahoma. Miami, you are in another little donut hole here. You've got a little pause in rain, but Grove, Jade, Langley, Veneta, heavy rain out there, and that is continuing all the way back into Newata County. Take a look at the loop on this. We had those strong storms that rolled through early this morning, about 2, 3 o'clock this morning. Those have rolled off to our east, but we're getting that redevelopment taking place, and we've got that swirl. So some of the storms that may fire up out to our west might swirl back in, and we're going to have scattered storms hanging around with us as we head through today. So what does that look like on the future track? Well, it looks like scattered storms on the future track. Here we are at noon. Still dealing with some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, as we head into the evening, they're going to become a bit more isolated, and will be isolated as we go through the late evening and overnight hours. And we will not see more widespread scattered storms until we get a little later into the day on Friday. So it's going to allow us to be a little warmer tomorrow than what we're going to be today. But we'll start to see some of those scattered storms through the afternoon and evening hours on our Friday before they start to clear out by late Friday evening, and we'll clear out by Friday night heading into Saturday morning. Now, some of the good news is we do not have a severe threat currently highlighted for our area today, which is fantastic news. We do have the thunderstorms, and of course, we could see a strong storm or two with some small hail and gusty winds, but the overall severe risk is extremely low at this point. 63 in Joplin, southeast breeze at 5. We've got the clouds. Again, Joplin, you are just in between some showers, a few more off to your south and west as this all rotates through. Temperatures around the region this morning still kind of just hovering in the low to mid 60s out there. And again, for most of us, not a lot of movement expected in those temperatures. Scattered showers, storms as we go through the morning. 66 by 11 o'clock. And you saw in those temperatures, not a lot of movement there. We'll eventually make the low 70s for highs. Some of you, though, if you see a little more clearing today, as we've mentioned, get a little more sunshine, could go mid 70s out there. And then we'll have those pauses in the storms later in the day and in the late evening hours. And we'll see scattered showers and storms, or at least isolated showers and storms, return overnight tonight. We'll fall back down to right about 60 degrees. As we head into our Friday, again, some of those pop-up storms, some isolated storms out there. No severe areas highlighted at this point for Friday either, which is good. We're looking at about the mid-70s, but again, some of you, if you get a little bigger pause in the storms, especially our northern counties where we're not expecting that much, you may make the upper 70s. Beautiful weekend still ahead of us, though, into the low 80s. Sunny skies, maybe a cloud here or there. We're pushing near 90 by Monday, but we've got more thunderstorms. Monday and Tuesday we're keeping an eye on. Wednesday, a little pause in the activity, back to the low to mid 80s as we close out next week, and back to thunderstorm chances as we close out next week as well. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
A high-speed stunt splits a London landmark. Patrick Cornell has that great video, and take a look at this.
Check out this daring duo fly through the sky, soaring through London's iconic Tower Bridge. The Austrian pair, part of Red Bull's skydive team, wearing wingsuits and packed parachutes, leapt from a perfectly good helicopter, reaching an astounding speed of 152 miles per hour as they glided above the River Thames toward their target. It only took 45 seconds from leaving the chopper to this whopper of a view as the team hit a bullseye, perfectly splitting the tower before landing safely. Training took more than 2 years and 200 test jumps to nail this theatrical feat, and as you can see, they are mighty happy to have met their mark.
You fly through and it was insane. It was so crazy.
In Missouri, the skies opened up, leaving golfers ducking for cover. Not from errant tee shots, but a terrifying tornado slicing through Paynes Valley Golf Course near Branson. Instead of irons and drivers, golfers pulled out their phones to gawk at the gigantic force near the fairway.
Oh my gosh.
Some scrambled into the clubhouse for safety, while others stayed outside to watch from a distance. The local fire department reported only minor damage from the storm, and thankfully it appears all the golfers escaped unharmed despite witnessing that EF4 For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Stick around, we'll be right back.
Greg Kelly, Vice President of...
Friday, May 17th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Limit 50 tires per customer.
Well, Pizza Hut is officially entering the burger business. On Tuesday, the pizza chain introduced its newest menu item, the cheeseburger melt, with a thin Parmesan crust and all the burger fixins stuffed inside. To celebrate the launch of the new item, Pizza Hut is deploying delivery drivers with QR codes on the back of their car to pull up to famous fast food burger chain drive-thrus so that customers can order a better burger from Pizza Hut instead. I'll fire up the grill. Today is National Barbecue Day. Among the ways connoisseurs prepare these meals include charcoal, wood, charcoal, or gas. As for barbecue sauces, they're like grease-covered fingerprints. Everybody's got a unique one. However, most recipes feature at least some of the same ingredients: ketchup, mustard, brown sugar, soy, and molasses. And whether it's chicken, pork, beef, or tofu for the vegetarians, every barbecue needs strong side dishes. Traditional ones are potatoes, baked beans, and coleslaw. As for what region of the U.S. has the best barbecue, we can answer that, but Kansas City, Memphis, Texas, and the Carolinas are well known for their unique takes on barbecue.
The ingredients for barbecue sauce is one of those things I probably could have spent my life without knowing. It's kind of like when I learned what goes into like the yum yum sauce at Japanese Steakhouse. I could have gone my entire life without knowing what goes into that sauce. It's like hot dogs too, and bologna. I love that stuff. I really don't need to know what it's made of, all right? When my time comes, and I can go without knowing what's in those items. Unfortunately, even though it is barbecue day, well, you're going to have to, maybe get some takeout or something like that, because it is not going to necessarily be a good day to be outside grilling. Scattered thunderstorms through the morning, 66 by 11 o'clock. Highs today right around the low 70s across the area. Now, some of you with these scattered storms may see a little more sunshine, could make the mid, maybe even upper 70s, but I think most of us in the low 70s between the storms and the clouds. We'll have little pauses. We'll be a little more isolated on activity by this evening and into the overnight hours. So again, not everyone will see storms tonight. We'll fall back to right around 60 degrees. Tomorrow, more isolated storms, widely scattered at best. The good news also today, no severe weather expected today or tomorrow. We don't have any areas highlighted, but there could be a storm or two that gets a little strong with some small hail and gusty winds. Our weekend still shaping up to be beautiful. Low 80s, clear skies, and as we head into next week, more storms Monday and Tuesday. Look at Monday pushing close to 90. Another pause in storms Wednesday before more thunderstorms roll in toward the end of the week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Stream KOAM News now on the TV app, available for iOS.